Today, I will be going through 10 different levels of speed cube, starting from the cheapest to the most expensive, with plenty in the middle. And at the end, there will also be a bonus cube. Level 1 starts with a very basic cheese sail W. This cube is just £5 from speedcubing.org, and it really isn't that good. Without any magnets or a decent tensioning system, this is not the cube that you want to be buying. When we get to the cubes at the highest levels, the contrast between them and this will be huge. Overall, I wouldn't recommend this cube, but it is a good starting point for us to work our way up from in this video. Level 2 brings us the RS3M 2020. This is the best selling speed cube of all time, being just £5 more expensive than the previous cube. This one packs so much more. The RS3M has magnets and a very respectable tensioning system. On top of that, this cube has decent corner cutting and a very well designed piece layout. I would say that this cube is able to give me averages that are just slightly slower than the very top cubes. Speaking of which, I want to get to them as fast as possible. So let's move on to level 3. This is the Diane Tengian, and just listen to the sound it makes. On top of the sound, this cube also has some great features, such as the incredibly soft and satisfying turning. This is one of my favourite cubes when I'm not trying to go against the clock, as I think that in timed conditions, it can be a little bit uncontrollable. This definitely won't be an issue when it comes to the cubes later in this video. Despite the Tengian being rather old, it is by no means a bad cube. This next cube is where we really step it up, as we have the very reputable WRM 2021. This cube is very versatile and can suit a wide range of users. One of my favourite features about this cube is the turning feel. Moyu clearly put a lot of thought into the smooth and soft feeling of this cube. There are plenty of upgrades to this cube that level 3 just couldn't compete with, such as the magnet system. This cube has 5 different choices of magnet strengths. The strongest will provide a stable and precise feeling, whilst the weakest will allow for much more flexibility. Sadly, I do have to say that the tensioning system is lackluster at best. This is because it comes with the exact same tensioning system as the RS3M, which costs a lot less. You think Moyu would redesign the tensioning system for one of their flagship cubes, but this just isn't the case. I don't want this to take away from the package as a whole, as this cube is incredible. However, this design flaw is something they should really think about for their next flagship contender. Level 5 brings us to what a lot of people call the flagship of 2022. This cube was widely regarded as the best cube that was released for the whole of last year. I am of course talking about the X-Man Tornado version 3. This is the Pioneer variant, which is the most expensive, but also the most capable. Everything about this cube is on point. However, my favourite feature is the tensioning system. This cube comes with 25 different settings in the core, which allows for everyone's preferences to be suited. Along with this, X-Man have made it even better by allowing it to be completely toolless, which means that you can adjust without having to carry a screwdriver or a tensioning tool. This sadly isn't replicated with magnets, as you have to use this tool, but this isn't too much of an issue, as the magnets make up for it by having another 5 different choices. This means that in total, this cube can be set up 125 different ways. So that's the technical side out of the way. But I would say that the most important thing is performance. And this cube is incredible. The corner cutting was a big issue on the predecessor to this cube. And whilst it isn't as good as some of the cubes later in this video, it is definitely a giant leap from the V2. Next, we have the iconic GAN 11M Pro. I've said so much about this cube before, so I'll keep this one short. This cube was released in 2020, but it's still incredible to this day. The stability is one of the many things that I really like about this cube, and that is due to the core magnets. This is an idea which has been innovated on many times since the 11, but this cube pioneered that design. On top of that, the shell of this cube is a GAN masterpiece, which means that the corner cutting is amazing and the turning is beyond effortless. I have said this before, but I think this will be an all-time high for GAN, and that is due to the incredible improvements made on this cube, which were that the 11 also had a great new magnet adjustment system, as well as 2 new outer coatings, which were UV coated and soft coated. UV coated is an all-time favourite for me, and I refuse to use any cube which doesn't have this type of texture on it. Following on from the 11M Pro, we have the GAN 12 Maglev. This is the first GAN cube to integrate Maglev technology within the core. By now, you should know about this. However, in its simplest form, there are just 2 repelling magnets in the core that act as a spring. This new design allows for a much more frictionless feeling, which means the cube can turn faster. Speed is one of the main features GAN strives for, which is why they made such an emphasis on the maglev idea. Much like any GAN cube, this one has rapid turning, which is controllable due to the innovated core magnets. These are just slightly longer. This causes a magnetic pull for a longer amount of time. I really like this, as it means that I can turn really fast without having the worry that I'm going to to overturn and struggle with speed. Once again, I've opted for this cube in UV coated to provide that extra grip. All of this comes with quite a large price tag, which is the reason that it is so high up on this list. Also, nothing tops the opening of a new GAN cube. It is so nice. This is starting to sound predictable, but now we have the GAN 13 Maglev, which is the latest flagship from GAN. After this cube, the levels get more exciting, trust me. The improvements are fairly small on this cube, however, the ones that have been made are impressive. For example, there are now 6 different magnet strengths to choose from, instead of the previous 3 choices. And also, the box in which the cube comes in is magnetic. I'm not sure this is what I want to be spending my money on, but I guess it's a nice touch. Everything from the 12 also applies to this cube, which makes it one of the best releases, and it is currently my main, and probably will be until the GAN 14. I'd like to pause the video here to tell you about speedcubing.org. Now, I could start listing all of the things that I really like about this cube store, however, I think there's a better way to show you this. Here are the prices of all the cubes so far on this list from speedcubing.org, as well as another large UK competitor. If you were to buy all 8 cubes I have gone through, then you would save £8.92 by just buying from this website. I don't think there's any better way of promoting speedcubing.org, so make sure you check them out via the link in the description. Level 9 is following the trend of GAN, but this time we have a special edition cube. This is the GAN Cheering. It is a limited edition cube with very few ever made. This means that it is really hard to get, hence why I don't have it. I believe that this is a GAN 12 Maglev, which has been made out of this translucent green plastic to make this really nice looking cube. I'm not sure whether it is better with or without the stickers, but nonetheless it looks really good. Sadly, they have all sold out, which means that you will really struggle to get your hands on one if you didn't buy it on first release. And level 10, we have the Swarovski Crystal Cube, and for obvious reasons, I don't have this cube. From what I know, this is worth around $600 and is made from 2,646 crystals. This handcrafted masterpiece is no longer available as far as I am aware, but if anyone owns it, then let me know, because I'd happily add it to my collection. And just like I promised, we have a bonus cube. This is the $2.5 million masterpiece cube, taking over 8,500 hours to make and built from 18 karat gold. Let me know how many cubes on this list you own in the comments.